All right, today we're going to talk about a pretty radical idea. What if we could build an internet, not just for computers, but for entire blockchains? This is the world of Polkadot and Parachains, so let's just jump right in. But first, I want you to just hold this one big question in your mind, because it really frames everything we're about to cover. What if blockchains, these separate digital economies, could actually talk to each other?
To really get why that question matters so much, we've got to look at the core problem Polkadot was built to solve in the first place, and that is the problem of what I like to call digital islands.
I mean, the evolution here has been just incredible to watch, right? Back in 2009, we got Bitcoin. Boom, decentralized digital money. Then in 2015, Ethereum comes along and introduces smart contracts, basically turning blockchains into world computers. But all this amazing rapid growth, well, it led us straight into our current problem, fragmentation.
You see, these incredible early networks, for all the amazing things they could do, were basically built in isolation. A token on Ethereum couldn't just natively hop over to Bitcoin. A smart contract on one chain couldn't easily tell another chain to do something. They were powerful for sure, but they were fundamentally separate. Honestly, the best way to think about this is to imagine every single blockchain is its own country. It's got its own rules, its own currency, its own culture. But, and here's the key, there are no roads, no bridges, no airports connecting any of them. Suddenly, trade is a nightmare, communication is slow, and all that value just gets trapped inside its own borders. That's the problem of digital islands.
So how do you fix that? Well, you start building those connections. And this brings us right to Polkadot's incredible vision, to create a true internet for blockchains.
Now, this is super important to get right off the bat. Polkadot isn't trying to be another blockchain to compete with Ethereum or Bitcoin. It's designed as a layer 0 protocol. Think of it less like a new building and more like the actual foundation, the bedrock, that lots of different specialized blockchains can be built on top of and connected to. It really is a network of networks. This simple phrase just perfectly captures the vision of Polkadot's founder, Ethereum co-founder Gavin Wood. He saw this fragmentation problem and basically flipped the question on its head. Instead of asking, how can one chain do everything, he asked, how can many specialized chains all work together? The goal became simple but so profound. Many blockchains, one connected ecosystem. Okay, that sounds amazing in theory, but how does it actually work? Let's get into the blueprint and see how Polkadot makes this all happen. And it starts with a truly revolutionary idea about security. At the very heart of Polkadot, you've got this thing called the relay chain. This is the central backbone, the heartbeat of the whole system that provides security and coordination for the entire network. A great analogy is to think of it like a national power grid. All the different cities and towns have their own local stuff going on, but they all plug into that one central grid for reliable, stable power. And if the relay chain is the power grid, then the parachains are all the businesses that plug into it. Parachain is just short for parallel chain, which is a fancy way of saying they all run at the same time. These are independent, specialized blockchains that can focus on doing one thing really, really well, like DeFi or gaming or identity. They're like the individual shops in a giant mall, each one unique, but all connected by the mall's shared infrastructure and, of course, security. And this right here is a real game changer. The old way, if you wanted to launch a blockchain, you had to build your own security from scratch. That means finding thousands of validators, which is unbelievably expensive and super risky. Polkadot just completely flips that script. New projects can just plug into the relay chain and get its super robust shared security from day one.
Here's another way to picture it. Think of a huge university campus. Instead of the engineering department, the law school, and the medical school all hiring their own separate, small security teams, the entire campus is protected by one single elite security force. That is exactly what Polkadot's shared security is all about. It's way more efficient, it's way more powerful, and it just massively lowers the barrier for new, innovative projects to get started safely.
So, we've got the relay chain handling security and the parachains specializing in their own things. So what? What does this actually unlock for users and for developers? Let's talk about the payoff. When blockchains can actually talk to each other, really communicate, it unlocks a whole new world. Suddenly, assets like your tokens or NFTs can just move freely from one chain to another. Applications can work together, pulling services from different ecosystems. Your data is no longer trapped on just one platform. And, maybe the most important thing of all, innovation isn't stuck in a silo anymore.
Let's make this super real for a second with a quick story. Imagine an artist.
They mint a new NFT on a Parachain that's specifically optimized for creators, with low fees and great tools. Then, you could take that exact same NFT and trade it on a completely different Parachain that's built for high-speed marketplaces. And finally, you could send it over to a third Parachain to use as a special item in your favorite video game. That's one asset moving through 3 totally different specialized worlds, all seamlessly connected.
And hey, this isn't some far-off theory. This stuff is happening right now. You've got real-world projects building today. Akala, for instance, is a huge hub for decentralized finance. Moonbeam is focused on making it super easy for Ethereum developers to bring their apps over, and Astar Network is a massive platform for dApps. These are the specialized engines that are already powering this whole ecosystem.
So, let's zoom out. What does this all mean for the future? Well, this entire architecture represents a fundamental shift in how we even think about blockchains. It's a move away from the idea that one single chain is going to win and do everything. The shift in architecture is just so clear when you see it this way. A traditional monolithic blockchain is like a single busy road where all the traffic, finance, gaming, social media, it's all stuck in the same jam. A multi-chain model like Polkadot, that's more like a modern highway network. It's got tons of lanes and each one is optimized for a different kind of traffic. It's just a smarter, more scalable design for the future.
At the end of the day, we've seen this movie before in tech, right? Isolated systems always, inevitably, evolve into connected networks. The pattern is so clear. Just like the early internet connected a bunch of isolated computers and allowed the web to just explode with innovation, Polkadot is aiming to do the exact same thing for isolated blockchains.
And that's what I want to leave you with. Think about it. The internet connected computers, and it completely remade our world. So what happens when we connect not just machines, but entire digital economies? The possibilities, well, they're really just beginning to unfold.